Wow, what a week, huh? Been a whole lot going on, but nothing's going to happen. It's a disgrace. That's the reason why I didn't come on, on Monday night when they released that Durham report. They're not going to do anything with that, but we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. We had a storm roll through. It came in about 5:30, and it has stormed for the last couple of hours, and this dog has driven me nuts. When it just rains, he goes crazy. He wants to set up on my lap or climb the furniture or what. He's just a nut. So if it gets bad again, I might have to get out of here, guys. But I'm flying solo tonight. My co-pilot's up in Iowa with our loved ones up there. They're watching. They're here with us tonight. Lady Prepper is with us. Marcia and Paul and Kathy. But let's see who else is here with us tonight. First one in was Debbie Jones. Wants to say good evening to everybody and wants me to rub that dumbass dog's stomach. Well, the dog's got me kind of pissed off right now. I'll get over it, I'm sure. Sandy's Homestead. All right. Are you new here, Sandy? No, you were here last week. I'm pretty sure you were here last week. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Who else we got here? Tammy Joe's with us. My girl right there. Greg Harmon's with us. John H., Arkansas contingency. There we go. Go Gators. Glenn Stalker. Yeah, Glenn Anderson. Good bunch in here tonight. It's Fourth and Goal is with us, and Fluffy. Appreciate you guys being here. We're going to be kind of all over the board tonight. So, like I said, there's been a lot going on. Rebecca's with us. Happy Hickman Homestead. Go there and check her channel out if you hadn't. She's putting up some videos, gardening videos that look really cool. So go over and check her out. Linda Farrow, all right. We got a good bunch in here tonight. But like I said, I'm flying solo. So if you have any questions, please make sure you put them in capital letters. I still might not catch them because I can't constantly look at this screen, but that'll help me out if you would. I'd appreciate it. Well, let's get into some good news. There were actually some good news this week here in Florida anyway. The way the Inside the Magic reported it, Disney caves to DeSantis. So they've kind of given up on the idea that they rule Central Florida, but they didn't cave, believe me. Ron DeSantis had all the cards in his favor from the start, and Disney just finally said, okay, you got us. Where are we going from here? So that was good. I like that. Everybody knows that I've never really cared for Disney. I've been telling people for 20 years they're the Antichrist, and people are just now getting around to listening to me, I think. But I used to work in a private gated community, and that had some Disney bigwigs in it. This is back in the day. Oh my gosh, it had to be about 25 years ago. But I mean, back then, the ones that lived there that I knew, they were just a bunch of damn perverts. But I kind of enjoyed seeing this, and I'm glad that they're finally understanding they don't run this state anymore. It's not like it used to be. So hopefully things will change, and we'll get to see some good, wholesome movies out of Disney, like we did back in the 80s and late and early 90s, before they went straight up pervert. So we'll see. But thank goodness that happened. This right here was kind of funny too. I don't know if any of you guys own an H&K firearm, Heckler and Koch, but one of their managers used their Twitter account to support the Miller Lite ad about that was knuckling under to political correctness. Well, Heckler and Koch instantly pulled that tweet down, and fired the person that did it. So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. That was good to see. So if you're considering buying a gun, support those guys, because they support the ideals that we live by. But I thought that was pretty funny. Just right away, they said, nope, we ain't having it. And escorted that person to the door. That's what a lot more companies need to start doing. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's right. DeSantis won, the mouse 0. And it's going to be that way. It's going to stay that way. As long as he's governor here, they're done. They just need to stay in their lane, make some movies, run their theme parks, whatever, and stay out of the political side of things here in the state of Florida because we ain't putting up with it. If you guys want to live in a place like that, come on down. If you want to fight against something like that, go out to California and help them folks fight it. That'd be a good idea right there. All right. Next topic. This one right here. I thought this one right here just kind of pissed me off straight up when I saw this and read this story. Facebook took down a post that's been going around. It's been going around Facebook, I know, for at least about a year. Jesus died so you could live. And, one of their little fairies over there decided that was hate speech. So they pulled it down, pulled that post down. They actually suspended the account that it was on. But that don't surprise me, not one bit at all. But hey, I don't run that show over there. If I did, it damn sure wouldn't be like it is. I think folks are starting to wise up, though. You can see it in the business world, and you see it, like what H&K did. A lot of companies are just saying, no, we don't want any part of this anymore. And that thing right there, that post that Facebook took down, didn't offend anybody except that one little person that was sitting there monitoring accounts, who probably, now I won't state my opinion on that. Let me just let that go. That's right. You can't stop God. God's in charge. If you think he's not, you're wrong. It's that simple. But hey, let's move on here. I'm trying to get through it. Can you tell I'm trying to get through this pretty quick because still a little rumbling going on out there. But we all know what's going on with the budget, the deficit, and everything that they're arguing about. And Republicans actually passed a budget bill, last week, I think it was. But of course, that'll never get through the Senate, and Joe's going to veto it if it gets to his desk. So we know, he don't care. He's taking the stance that he's the man, he's in charge. And everybody keeps talking about the 14th Amendment. Don't know if you guys know what the 14th Amendment says about the budget, but in Article 4, it says that the validity of public debt of the United States authorized by law includes debt incurred and payment shall not be questioned, which means if Joe does invoke the 14th Amendment, they have to pay the bills. But Joe will never do that for one simple reason, because it don't allow for any increases above what we owe. And that's his big stickler right now with the budget. He wants to throw in a bunch of crap that the GOP members don't want in there. He don't want to make any cuts at all. He just wants to up everything and then add to it the crap we're already paying for. But if he invokes the 14th, he gets none of it. He gets none of what he wants to add, and he knows it. And that's why he hasn't done it. And if he does, he's just screwing himself. It's that simple. So, I know he's a feeble-minded old dumbass, but he's got advisors around him, I'm sure, telling him you can't do this, because if you do, we're done. They'll just have to pay the bills and go with what's left. It's that simple. And that's the reason why they haven't done it. So maybe they're not too stupid up there. We'll see. Which leads me into the crap that went down this week with the Durham investigation. We all know how that turned out. It turned out that Hillary Clinton did, generate a bunch of lies and paid people to use them against Donald Trump during the election. The FBI supported her. The CIA supported her. And, Department of Justice, they were all on board. And the investigation showed that. It finally came out. It's true. The only problem I had with it was they didn't name people that needed to be arrested. There were no indictments handed down with the investigation. I think Durham did try two people throughout the process. No, yeah, he tried two and lost both of those because they were in Washington, D.C. courts. He wasn't going to win them to start with. So he knew there was no need to go any further with that. But they just, they put it out there. And now the Democrats are all saying, well, that's history. We got to move on. There's no need in going back. We got to move on from here. And that's what the country's going to do. Nobody's going to do anything. People have been called out. One of them was, thank goodness, Congresswoman from here in Florida, Anna Luna, has filed a resolution in the House to suspend Adam Schiff and just get him out of the way, just expel him from Congress. Hopefully that'll get some traction and they'll do something with it. This man was a joke. He was a liar from the start. He knew he was lying, and I knew he was lying. I'm sure a lot of you folks out there did too. But now that the proof has come down, hopefully they'll do something with this guy. We'll see. Pennsylvania wants to pass a law making ammo makers put serial numbers on ammo by 2024. Oh my God. Can you imagine a serial number on every cartridge? That's ridiculous. But back to Mr. Schiff here. He's finally having to face some of the crap that he put down. So hopefully something will happen with this. We'll see, I guess. But there's also one more here that our girl, seems like the ladies in Congress have more balls than the guys. Have you noticed that? Women ain't taking this stuff sitting down anymore. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she introduces articles of impeachment against FBI Director Chris Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland. I don't think this is going to get any traction. It really should, but I don't see it happening because both of them are just crap. They went along with all of that fake dossier crap, lied. They sat in front of Congress and lied, both of them. They sat there and just lied their asses off when, people have gone to jail for that. These two guys did it, and they're going to skate. Nothing's going to happen, especially Garland. I hate to say it about anybody, but that guy's a piece of shit. He really is. But hey, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. He might be the nicest guy in the world. But I think he's a bitter ass old man who's pissed off because he didn't get a chance to get on the Supreme Court. And the Democrats are using him as a puppet. And I guess it's being effective because he's not doing anything and nobody's doing anything about it. The FBI is attacking parents in school meetings. DOJ didn't stop them, didn't do anything about it. Hadn't heard a word from them about it other than to deny it, even though there's proof that it happened. They just sat there and lie, and nobody does anything. It's time for this crap to stop, guys. This is not a banana republic yet, but it's getting there, where we have a two-tier justice system where those in power are judged different than everybody else. And if something don't happen, we're gone, guys. America cannot survive that way. It's that simple. We just cannot survive like that. And that's not just my opinion. That's a fact. I actually believe that's a fact. But that's enough crap. Let's get on to the prepping part of this here tonight. I've been doing some work with GMRS radios. And I think if you folks aren't familiar with them, you really need to look into them. I keep telling you need to set up some comms for your base camp, just in case things go sideways and, wherever your group is, you're going to have to communicate. You're absolutely going to have to. And once that happens, and it is going to happen, I don't know when, but it's going to happen. I never thought I'd live to see it, but now I think I'm going to. But it's really going to be bad on everybody. I received an email today from a gentleman in South Africa. And he's telling me about how bad their grid is over there, how they're having blackouts for 10 hours a day. in the town where he lives. He wanted to remain anonymous. That's why I blacked out his name here. But he's telling me that their grid is stretched beyond its capacity. And for 10 hours a day, they're having to live without electricity. And it's happening all over Africa, not just in his town, but everywhere. Well, if they strain that grid just a little bit more, he says right here, they're going to lose the whole grid throughout the country, and it's going to be total chaos. But two of the things he brought up here, something I've been talking to you folks about, is solar power and communications. He has a solar power system separate from the grid, and if you get one, you need to make sure yours is separate too. So only you can use it. It's not hooked into the grid. But he was telling me he has a solar power system where he can generate enough power, to run a few things in his house, run his TV, and run his communication system. Him and a group of friends are ham operators, and they all, kind of check in on each other every day. And the only way they can do that is with his solar power system when the lights are out. And that's when you need help the most, is when it's dark. So him and his friends have set up a system that they use their solar power and their ham radios to stay in contact and stay up to date with each other. And that's kind of, what I've been telling you guys about getting a radio set up for just in case. Well, these people aren't just in case. They're living it today, every day. And that's in a developed country. That's in South Africa, which is a developed country. But their grid is just stretched. It's just strained. So it don't have to be, a third world country that's a piece of crap with just very little resources. You're talking, Cape Town, major cities. That's where this guy was. They contacted me. He's in Cape Town, South Africa. And it's going to get that way probably here pretty soon, the way they're going with the green energy thing. They're trying to close down energy plants when they do, which they are already doing. But eventually they'll get to a point to where it's stretched, and we're going to be having these rolling blackouts just like those people over there are. So make sure you got that solar power, guys. You're going to need it. But tonight we're here to talk about the radios, your system. Like I said, I was looking into GMRS radios this week. I actually bought one. Been playing around with it. Can't believe how small it is. This is it. This little bitty unit right here. All the controls are in the microphone. I'm going to do a review on it in a couple of days. Show you how it works. It works fantastic. This is like a CB on steroids. I know some of you remember the old CB radios we had in cars and trucks and whatever back in the day. But that's what this is. This unit is a 20-watt unit. You can get up to a 50-watt unit. The difference in this and a CB is CBs were programmed to have wattage between 4 watts and 10 watts. That's all they could have. So you're looking at twice the best CB unit ever made. And you can get those 50-watt units that are, boom, they just rock. But also, you can use this as a base unit. I want to show you how in the video I got coming up. You get your little solar power system. You hook this into that instead of like a wall unit. And bingo, you got your little base unit right here. You can carry it wherever you want if you have a portable solar power system. But this could be your base unit in your camp. Putting out those 20 watts, it's going to reach out there anywhere you want to go that would be in your immediate area. The guy you have going to collect water, or the guy you have on guard duty, or whatever. They would have a radio, and this is a perfect system for that, because you don't have to program this. It only has 22 channel capability, but you don't have to program it. A lot of people are afraid of those ham radios because you have to program those channels. This one, you don't have to do that. And the price really isn't that bad. It's $135 for a 20-watt radio that you can use either in your car or as a base unit, like I said, in your camp. Plus, here's the good thing. Remember those little Baofeng radios I gave you? I gave away several. Let me put it that way. They make a Baofeng UV5G right here. It's just like a regular UV5R, but it's GMRS. It has 22 channels, just like this little radio right here. So, you know, these there right there, you get two of them for less than $50. You can't beat that. And that uses the same batteries a UV5R uses. It's the same case. It's actually just the same radio. It has a different program. That's all it is. So for, you know, less than $200, you got your base unit and you got, you know, a couple of radios for the people you have out in the field for less than $200. And communications is vital, folks. It is tremendously vital. You know, like I said, you got somebody out on guard duty and they're 200 yards from base, and they see somebody or they run across something suspicious. Bang, they get on the radio. They tell you, get ready, I got this. It's going to be very, very necessary if things really go bad. Believe me, that's one of the most important things you can get, other than water and food, and a way to protect yourself. You remember those steps we went through, those prep steps we went through last time? That was top 5. Communications was number 3, I think. Number 3, yeah. But got to have it. This is a cheap way to do it. It's an easy way to do it. Like I said, you don't have to worry about programming those ham channels in that radio. They're already in there. And it don't matter if you have a Motorola radio, a Baofeng, a BTEC, a Midland, whatever. All GMRS radios have the same frequencies. So it's going to work no matter what you have, as long as it's a GMRS radio. Now, you do have to have a license to operate a GMRS radio. But unlike a ham license, there's no test. You can just go online and apply for it. I think it costs $35 or somewhere in that area. And it's good for 10 years. And it's not only good for you, it's good for your entire family. If you get that one license, it covers your entire family or your entire group. Let me put it that way. Don't have to be a brother or a sister-in-law. You know, if your team's got 8 people in it, that's your team, and your license would cover that. If you want to get out and practice with this before things go sideways, if you want to set it up when you run your drills with your groups, get your license, you're covered. It's that simple. But like I said, I'm trying to hurry through this, guys. One more thing I want to cover before I get out of here. If you have Smithsonian app on your phone or on your TV, if you have it on your cable system or whatever, they do a series called 10 Steps to Disaster. Well, they recently did one about the blackout in Texas in 2001. So you might want to go over and take a look at that. Marshall wants what charge that we don't have enough electricity, that blackouts are needed. What change that we don't have? Well, right now we have enough. But with this Green New Deal thing, they're always trying to shut down coal plants and oil burning plants. And they're just not, when they do go offline, they're not replacing them. It's just like with the strategic oil reserve. We had 4 strategic oil locations. They drained 2 of those, trying to keep the price of gas down over the last year and a half. But they're not going to replace that. So they're just going to stay with 2. Now, if things go bad, we're not going to have enough oil to defend our country. They're going to do the same thing. They're doing the same thing with these power plants. When one goes offline, it's offline forever. They don't replace it. That's how that can easily happen. But like I said, go watch that special, 10 Steps to Disaster, the Texas blackout, and see how unprepared those people were. It's ridiculous. They were all sitting around on their hands doing nothing. They get hit with this major storm, and then they're bitching about the government not being able to take care of them. You don't want to get caught in that situation. like I said, we're going to be all over the board tonight, guys. So I covered a lot real quick. My man's sitting right there asleep right now, thank goodness. Hopefully it won't thunder again. I won't have to deal with him. But I'm going to get out of here. Gas in Mount Pleasant is $2.97. Oh, good. That's better than what we got here in Orlando. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to stay strong, stay patriotic to the founding principles of this country, not the system in place right now. Pray for the United States of America. Orlando Prepper is out.